So we're in season 4. It's been a couple days. I'm going to show you guys how to not play like this, you know, be sneaky, passive, kind of boring, randomly sneak up on people, max damage them. But instead, I'm going to show you how to be more aggressive and how I go about playing arena in the new season. Because every now and then, it's always good to make a video like this and show you guys the moves and tactics that actually work against defending people that are psychos, while also being a psycho yourself and learning how to be aggressive at the right time. So you guys probably know I say it a lot. It might get kind of tiring. I had a very good pro player named Cease coach me in a solo cash cup one time, and I learned a lot about fighting. Most of the stuff I kind of knew and I talked about, but in this video, I'm going to show you the ins and outs of how I play Fortnite. So when the season first dropped, what I kind of do, I like to have 2 different spots. The mid-map hot drop, then I like to have a little bit more of a low-key drop where there's tons of loot still, maybe 1 or 2 players, but most of the time I just look to get a kit and then go in and try and get some fighting practice. If I dial spawn too much, it makes me really frustrated, as I'm sure it does everyone else, and then I end up not playing anymore. That's a quick side note going into the new season. One of those more low-key, really kitted drops is Cloudy Condos. You can see these fights are a lot more passive, not too many third parties, and do me a favor and check out my loadout. Nevertheless, once I hit this person really hard, this is how you finish a fight very easy. I'm always double editing down right away because 1, I know this player's healing, and 2, I can tell that there's not a wall here. Very simple technique: hold and drag cones through the player's box, then finish up with the wall so you get 2 builds placed at once, and this guy is quite literally some toast. You guys may know of the vaults scattered around this map. I always like to go to them in arena because it gets me really good fighting loot. This person keys me right off the bat. This is one tactic I do all the time. In this spot right here, you'll notice how I place 2 walls just in case this player side jumps, mantles up on me. I can't exactly read this player fast enough in this situation to know what he's going to do, so I place these walls to give me time to figure out how to shoot this player. I thought he was building up, so I crank up one and quickly switch my inventory because I know that I have some free time. Now I'm just looking to drop down on this guy. This was an accidental double edit, but I think I might start utilizing this a little more. The single tile edit to get a right hand peek. Once you crack someone this hard, it's almost like a death sentence if you don't create more than 2 boxes, because this guy tries to heal, splash, and I get a quick wall take. This is how I keep pressure up on people like mad, because if anyone boxes up in a single box and they just go to pop chug splashes, they'll never be able to hold their wall in time because there's a delay. Sometimes I'm a little too aggressive during these fights. I go to chop this player out, know that I'm not actually chopping him out. I just want him to drop. Then the fragger W key mindset comes in where I just run at this guy's face. Here's an example of being a psycho, but doing it in a way that's not necessarily optimal. This kill was cool, but it wasn't a good example of how to be a good psycho. Instead, I should have done the double edit, placed the wall, and then gone for a shot this way, which I do a lot as well. So, okay, so here in this clip, this is actually a really good tip. Usually, every time I get shot, I just told you that to not box up in 1 box. I've been saying this since the dawn of time. I create 2 boxes here, right? And what I'm doing is trying to create good space for myself. You can claim territory of 2 boxes like this just by staying behind a right-hand peak. I actually think that this trade that this person did was really bad on his part. 1, I missed my shot. 2, I did something stupid and tried to heal right away when I should have created space knowing that he was going to take my wall. So I said, okay, let me calm down. Let me set up this play again. At this point, notice how weak I am, but I'm still setting it up the exact same. Place the wall, play behind the right-hand peak. And this is a little risky, but this is what you do when you play against a psycho. So I edit the whole wall open. I get a little closer. I jump up and have a really good angle to shoot this player. I line up a headshot, and now he's forced to back off because we were both 1 shot at this point. That's how I play defense. I'm telling you right now that the prime shotgun, it is definitely the preferred option. If I had a lever in this situation, I would have hit this guy for 20 damage. If you haven't already, you should definitely get used to playing with the prime. If you want to W key aggressively, take people to height and build fight them, work on your mechs, this is the exact loadout that you should run. Prime, hammer, chrome, splash, and mini. Fastest quick heals, best rotation, and if you go to height, you throw a chrome splash and then you turn into the blob and you won't take any fall during that stage. So I'm in tilted. Relatively, this is the off spawn, and what you're going to see me do is initiate a box fight here. And this is something that players fall for all the time, but this is a great box fight move. Instead of aggressing into this player's box and going for further piece control, I realized he had a shotgun out and he was just straight staring at me. Having patience as an aggressive player is going to make you learn how to read players better, just like in this situation where I know that this guy won't be able to edit the stare faster than I can shoot and reset with scroll wheel reset. Once you get a huge crack, that's when you can go crazy and just run right at them. I would say fights in season 4, to me, how I play, it comes down to getting a crack, and then that's when I start to be really aggressive. So it's defense at first, and then you turn it into being a psycho. So this was a time where third parties were rolling up at Rocky Reels. You'll notice when I run up to the wall that I see that there's no wall in front of me. So anytime someone does this, I just instantly place bills in front of their face. I could have went for more piece control here. That was a little bit of a choke, but I get rammed by a third party. Now I'm 1 HP and I'm kind of panicking a little bit. What I do is I say, let me calm down, assess the situation. Let me get this flopper off. This guy jumps into my box, but he doesn't know that that's what I want him to do because I just switch places with him really quick. Then I place the wall and he won't be able to take out a shotgun in time. Break the stair, boom. boom, place it behind me, and now I can run out, get some heals up, and get back into this fight. We're switching up the scene a little bit. Now I'm playing duos with Jivan, my trash teammate, of course. Just kidding. This guy's going crazy. He's placing cones and walls through the builds and all this stuff, right? I'm running away from someone like this, right? The metal is one shot after I make an edit and reset. So that means as I'm jumping, I'm still going backwards to be outside this box completely. Now I place my own wall and set up a nice little peak here. I didn't have the opportunity to shoot, so what I do is I jump and move off to the left to avoid this guy's piece control. This is where I get a small little crack. Then I try to set up another peak with the wall that I had. That guy was so aggressive, had the health advantage, and still lost just because I was able to avoid his boxes by jumping off to the back and to the left. Now keep in mind, this is an off spawn fight, but my loadout is stacked. That's because I like to land at spots where I can get quick loot. As someone pops Chug Splash, that's when I like to take someone's wall. Sometimes there's a delay where you can take out your builds, and it helps me get the wall a lot. So watch what I do here. I drop down. When I got this wall one shot and it didn't break, that's the time when I know that a player's gonna have his map out because it's so weak that he's nervous I'm gonna take it. I exploit a stare into his box, and then at this point, once I get the wall, I realize that he's trying to leave. I read the situation and just pre-box sides. I could have been way more safer here, used a window edit, but the good thing about using a lever sometimes is that you can have really quick edits. I'm able to get shots off on this guy. Even though I'm really weak, I have confidence that I'll play the right peak in the situation after I took all that damage. I gotta have that mindset going into it though. That would help me a lot more. I don't have the start of this fight, but this guy got me weak. And you can always set up a peak like this if you know that the wall that they're editing is not edited yet. See how I got my edit first? Now I'm in the position to shoot and reset, and he still has his map out. So many players in Arena nowadays just non-stop crank. It's actually kind of crazy. Sometimes instead of building up like crazy, I play a little slow. I do fake chop outs. I pretend like I crank up sometimes, and I go for a lot of side jumps. So I'm in a build fight against this guy who is literally W keying the whole lobby. You could see like he's actually just trying to complete edit course me. If you ever want to confuse a player who's non-stop editing on you, just see how I flipped the direction I was going. Now he doesn't necessarily know where I am. This fight's going on. I'm panic building a little bit. You could tell that like my mechs aren't completely clean here, but you can see I'm trying to give myself good space, creating a quick box. Boom, should be able to do that right away. As he's on one wall, I go to the other one, try and cone him, but he predicts it. But I win the trade, which is nice. I got lucky on that kill right there, but that's a complete psycho. Give yourself ample space. Expect that they have 0 ping, because most of the time they're going to be able to take your wall first try. Even when I have 0 ping, I think like that. This clip right here at the beginning, a green prime shotgun against the lever. In this situation, I bet you that this guy will never win the trade, ever. That's why the shotgun is so good. You'll notice the second I left the box, I did a quick reload because the first bullet always gives more damage than the last 2 to 4. So just to be clear, it does the same amount of damage from bullets 2 to 4, but the first bullet always does more damage. I got myself involved in a lot of box fights today, and that was on purpose because I want to improve my fighting. That's what I do in Arena. I'm trying to be aggressive, but I'm not trying to be too aggressive. Notice how I'm playing behind the peak. I'm far away from this guy's box, trying to just see what he's up to, see if I can get some counter shots. Then I'm like, okay, this guy's too sweaty. I'm going on to the other guy. I get the wall and I see that he's at the top of a ramp and he's holding an edit out because he has his pencil in his hand. I'm pausing the video to make you think, what is this guy waiting for me to do? He's waiting to just see me take out a pickaxe so he can insta edit and shoot me. So I do a little fake switch, boom, I get the shot and he's dead. The lesson being, when you box fight, keep your distance and understand when you're going too far. The more you die, it's a good thing, and who cares? You just WQ everything. You don't even need champs. I absolutely love this clip because this is the type of fighting that I'm trying to get down. So I mantle up and I realize that I might have a potential full box. What I do is I'm holding the edit. You'll notice how I didn't release it yet. And then I quickly place a wall on both sides. Now this guy's blocked in. Then I see him crouching over, which is most of the time what every player does. Literally every time, just sit in the corner. I bet you the player's just gonna crouch and move over. That has to be the most patient play that I've done this season that I want to start doing more often. So a lot of people don't do this. I'm taking a top to a box and I'm just assuming that this player is going to be antsy because most people love to rush in your face nowadays. After I don't get it the first try, I stop, take a breather, reset the wall. Now I do it safely behind a window edit. He edits open because he thought that I wasn't doing that. Boom, max pump, and now this guy's just practically dead. Simply because the rule I follow in my head, if you don't get it one time, take literally 1 to 2 seconds and rethink how you're doing the edit and predict him running at you. So by now in season 4, practically any chance you get, you mantle on literally every build you can see. Majority of players are so tunnel visioned on piece control that by the time you mantle, you'll be able to shoot them and just run right in their box and they'll have no idea where you're at. Here's a good play from earlier. This is the play I talked about earlier where you extend cones down, but notice how I placed 2 walls instead of 1, just trying to gain as much piece control as possible. And this is what allowed me to get the edit through the window edit. And at this point, this guy is once again just toast. This season, I've definitely gotten way more comfortable editing my wall through a window edit. Here's a little bit of a choke. This is a clip where I rushed it and actually missed the double piece control. Sometimes the players that you verse, you can tell they're just so nervous that on a guy like this, he had his shotgun out, so I'm even more likely to get 2 builds instead of 1. If he had his map out, I probably still would have went for it anyway, anyway, but I choked it and did it too fast because I was panicking. It's because I haven't done it against a player that many times, but I still got the kill anyway. This is a move that I forgot about, but I was reminded about it when I saw Yamzo playing like a month ago. Every single time you're gonna drop down on someone's wall, always jump before you do it. You can see that I placed the wall, but he can't even tell where I am because I'm in the air. And then when he boogied himself, I stood in the direction he was walking so that he was body blocked into giving me a free headshot. At the start of this fight, you could see that I'm being really aggressive, trying to go for his wall. I realized I didn't get it, so I just skirt out of there really quickly. And what I do when I see this guy has edits above me, I was gonna go for a jump shot, but now I'm too late and I'm already in the motion. And so instead of creating a box here, what I do is let myself fall down one layer, then I create the box, and now I have all the pieces to this box. That's a really smart way to avoid piece control. And then of course, you know, we had a full clip. But now you're able to understand my thought process and the goal every season. If I post one of these, it's going to be different each time because I'm improving along as we go. So there's going to be more tips and tricks in each one. If you enjoyed this video, want to support, my merch is linked down below. I'm currently wearing one of the sweatshirts right now. It's super comfortable. And I also send people video messages after they buy it through the app. Enjoy the new season. Good luck in the placement cup, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.